Hey ManCave, this is Bob for DaBob's N-Scale ManCave, and today's the next episode in the Free-moN N-Scale module build called Taconite Harbor. Let's see what we have for you today. Okay, a quick update. On June 19th, I have put in the other shaper sheet pieces over here on that end, glued them in, and that's pretty much almost about it. I've got all the pieces that I kind of want where they are going to be, and a couple scraps lying around. But next thing I'm going to try and do is I'm going to do a little test painting of this and see how it looks before I put it on the actual wall. See if I want to change anything up, you know, how it looks and blah blah blah. Anyway, I'm going to start painting all the pink, that nutmeg color here, just to kind of cover up all the pink. I'm probably not going to paint over the edges here down on that side because I'll be laying plaster cloth over parts of that anyway, so I just won't paint around that area. I'll paint where the plaster cloth is not going to be, and then once I put the plaster cloth on, I'll adjust the painting of that as well to get that all painted up, sort of like this stuff is here. Still waiting on the switches to come in. They're in the mail, just haven't been officially shipped out or mailed out, so I gotta work on those. If I got time today or this weekend, I'll probably take these switches out in anticipation of the arrival, because I'm going to have to unsolder that one there and, you know, take it out. So got some undoing to do before I have to put a new one, and who knows, I may have to change up some track to get it to go a little longer if the switch is a little bit too short. I'll have to figure that out somehow. So other than that, I do have to figure out soldering in a feeder over here and rework my feeder idea down here for my reverse loop. See if that actually has an effect on how this all operates. So yeah, we'll have to see how that goes today. But anyway, time to do some painting. Okay, I did a little test printing on a standalone piece of printed rock. As you can see, the difference between the two. More of a darker rock colored kind of effect to it, and so that's going to stand out. What I did was I painted the shallow ends, the real low ends, black, and then I went in with a lighter gray, a pewter, I think it was a pewter gray, and I kind of mixed that in over the top of the blacks, so that lightened up the black a lot, but it still left a lot of black. And I kind of mixed the black and the pewter together a little bit, so it made a little of a lighter black. And then I went with the dark granite gray over the top of the high pieces and the peaks. And so those stand out a little bit differently, and it has a pretty good effect on it. And I'm going to go through and do that whole wall in a similar fashion. Okay, I'm going to start off black, pewter gray, and darker granite. The black will give it kind of that shadow effect in those crevices. Go with some of the pewter gray. Trying to go a little bit higher on the levels of the rocks that are here in the pewter gray, and mixing in with the black as well. Getting a little water on it. Kind of washes and mixes the colors together. And also gives you some runoff vertically. Okay. I'm going to rinse off my brush. Dry off my brush on the paper towel. I'm going to go in with the dark granite, lightly with the dark granite, and get the high spots that I haven't touched. It's okay to leave some of the gray 3D printed material showing. That adds just the fourth color. And there we go. Looks pretty good. And that's how it kind of turns out. In 5 minutes, I painted that 1.5 inch square piece of plastic to look rockish. And now I got 13 more left to go. Okay, I went and put black on all the pieces. Now it's time to start with the pewter gray and mix that in. After that, dark granite. So now I've put on the pewter gray, and that's drying a little bit. Don't want to wait too long because it's really not too bad if you have wet paint and you're mixing in another color on top of it. You kind of get those shades in between the colors when you touch the other wet paint. So it's all going to merge kind of together beautifully, hopefully. Time for the dark granite. Now I'm just going over the top with the dark granite, just skimming the high pieces, just basically brushing over the top, not trying to get down into the crevices at all, just trying to highlight the tops, or the most outward facing pieces will get the lightest color. You don't want to put a lot of paint on there, just you're basically sort of like a skim dry brush over the top. You know, try to cover up some of those darker blacks that stand up or stand out. And there's the almost final touch with the three colors, the black, the pewter gray, and the dark granite. Now you can see I've got an extra fourth color on there, and that is burnt umber. And that's just a light brush stroke across the top, not covering up everything, just putting some streaks in there, giving it some sort of dirt color to some of the rock, because yeah, a lot of that rock is, you know, multiple colors in there, so you kind of want to get some sort of a dusting. It's sort of like a dry brush effect on there. So I'm going to apply some burnt umber to the outside and get some more detail to look at. So if you get any too much paint on there, like maybe I put a little bit too thick, it wasn't as dried off as I wanted it to be, I just used the paper towel and dabbed on the paint and just let it soak into the paper towel, and it pulled off a lot of the extra paint so it doesn't look as thick, and now it looks more of a dried look to it. And so yeah, it looks pretty good. And now when I get more scenery put on there, some more green and other paints and stuff like that, it'll just kind of merge all into the whole scene, and it won't stand out as much, but it'll just be there. Be nice painted rock to drive by. Okay, we got another update real quick. I've been doing a lot of painting. So as you can see, all the white shaper sheet has been painted. A lot of the pink foam has been painted up on top. The pink foam that you see still left is going to be covered up with some scenery, like maybe painting in some rock, putting in some plaster cloth and stuff to kind of get in that area, and then I'll have to paint over the top of that or lay grass and trees down and stuff like that. But it's looking pretty good so far. Most of the pink is gone, and most of the white is all gone. You know, this has been painted a darker brown. All that pink up there is gone. The rock wall looks pretty good so far. Just need to cover up the sides and top and stuff and get it all kind of scenic up with some grass and bushes and trees maybe as well. I do have all the white in there because that's going to be a different material that I'm going to do for making that rock wall that goes in there. So I'm not going to use a 3D printed one. I'm going to use a different process, and I don't have this piece glued in so that I can gain access to that rock wall area, and then after that gets finished I can put this in, screw that down, and model the rest of it to get that inside corner done. I still have to put in the stream road, or the stream bed in here. Got to paint that down there, put some scenery down in there to finish that off, and of course get in some shaper sheet stuff in these corners around these curved switches, which I'm also waiting for in the mail. So it should come sometime this week. Don't know exactly yet when I expect it because it was just put in the mail, so I have got some waiting time. I can also put in stuff in here to fill this gap and finish this part off and get all the way over to there. So yeah, I have a few things to work on still. But I just wanted to get all that white and pink painted and as much as I could. So I felt like I really accomplished something a lot today. So that's a good start. I get that monkey off my back and that thought going, hey, you know, I should paint. But I also have this switch area over here that needs to be covered up, and I'll get that after I get my new switches put in. And so that's how it goes. Oh, how do I paint the cloth the shaper sheet? Because it's got a cotton layer on here. Well, you dip your foam painting brush, those foam sponge brushes, in the paint. You lay it down as much as you can, get it out there, and then you dip the brush into some water. So you sponge up some water onto the brush, and it mixes with the paint that's in there, thins it out. And then you can wipe it on here, and it just kind of moves easier across all the fibers to paint it. So you can see where the actual paint was brushed on and where the water was put on by the lighter color brown is watered down paint. So there was a lot of that because the fibers just take up so much of the paint that wetting it down made it easier to spread. And so I still have some stuff I need to put in over here, but I'm running out of paint, so I'm going to have to go buy some more paint because I'm going to have to paint some more on top of the white plaster cloth that I'm going to be putting on some of these other areas. So, yeah, I got some things to do. Plus Father's Day's Sunday, so I got a lot of stuff to do this weekend. Till the next update. Got a quick update to do. I added in this piece right here and painted it up so it would match up with over here with another piece that I added in there. Plaster cloth and paint all done in there. A lot of cleanup to do left, but moving the module sections apart really helps get into some of the crevices and stuff where you can't really reach over and get into. I put in the plaster cloth all along the outside wall there and painted it up. Still have to do the inside, you know, to get that done, but just one step at a time. And then, you know, that's looking not too bad. I got to put some plaster cloth down in here, kind of smooth out this drop off kind of hill. Unless I put another rock wall kind of a thing over here, I'm not sure yet, but probably plaster cloth. Smooth that out. I added in this piece here to, you know, kind of smooth out this whole edge there because it's just a cut off on this piece right there. So I have to paint that up a little bit. Added in some water effects into the Two Island River, and right now I only see one island, but that's what the name of it's called. Anyway, the stuff is still drying overnight. When it's thicker, it's going to stay white, so it takes longer to dry. I went all the way down over to here, painted up this side here, the rocks, get rid of the pink, and that looks not too bad. It's going to take a lot more detail to go in here, putting some sand and sticks and other rocks and so forth as I get going. And you know, there's going to be a lot of detail that's got to go in there to make it look more realistic. And of course, I got to do some plaster in there and paint it up and pour some realistic water in there to give it a water lake kind of look to it, and so forth and so forth. So a lot of things to do. It's mostly all scenery. Just waiting on my switches and I can get the rest of the track done and maybe work on that electrical issue thing with the reverse loop thing. Once I figure that out, we'll figure it out, but we'll see. Till the next update. So if this is your first time visiting DaBob's N-Scale ManCave, consider subscribing down below. Also ring that bell down below to get notified of future videos just like this one. Also, leave a comment. Tell me what you liked, what you didn't like, and as always, give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Till next time, ManCavians, happy model railroading. You stay off those tracks. Bye.